Director Cosmos, a new possibility has been presented by the defense. They are claiming that you were this third person.
Oh, forgive me. I'm so sorry.
So the great pioneer of space development is revealed to be just another fabulous cur. I only have one question for the likes of you. Shall I send you off quickly or very quickly?
Oh!
The evidence doesn't lie, Director Cosmos, so don't try to talk your way out of this.
Fine. I'll tell you the truth. It's all just as you say, Mr. Wright. It's true that I was there in the boarding lounge. I got there before Detective Arm, and when she arrived, she fired warning shots at me. I was afraid people would mistake him. I'm mixing my words. I was afraid people would mistake me for the killer, so I escaped to the control room. I then went past the elevators and all the way around to boarding lounge 1 again.
Okay.
I came up behind Detective Harm and pretended to be second on the scene.
Fulbright. Thank you.
Crack open a gold one.
What a troublesome old man you are, with such convoluted deeds and thoughts.
I see. So then... Are you still insisting that you did not kill a victim? Also put it from one of those cans.
Of course I am. When I arrived at the lounge alone, I saw the true killer. The great Yuri Cosmos was a history-making witness.
Hold it! Hold it! Now just hold on one moment. We just proved a few minutes ago that the third person that Mr. Starbuck and Miss Aura Blackwell saw was you.
No! It wasn't me. I saw the person as well. If I were the killer, why would I lie to cover the Starbuck? I would just leave him to take the fall.
That is an excellent point.
All I wanted to do was protect Starbuck. I said I was in the control room to invent an escape route for the third person.
Well, it makes some sense if he told those lies to cover Mr. Starbuck.
Still, a lie's a lie, Athena.
So, Director Cosmos claims he's not the culprit. But where's the proof?
Ah, I just remembered. I have an alibi.
Oh my god.
Miss Blackwell said that she saw the killer at 10 a.m., correct?
Yes, and?
Well, I was on the 4th floor, helping with the evacuation effort. Ask any member of the staff you'd like. They'll corroborate me.
Oh, no, the director is not fibbing to the court for once. I can confirm that he has an alibi for the time specified.
So, you're claiming that Miss Blackwell saw the killer commit the crime first at 10 a.m. and that you arrived at the lounge after that?
Yes, and I believe the person I saw is the same person that Miss Blackwell saw. Although it was pitch black, So it was more of a shadowy figure and less of a person. And I couldn't actually see their face, but it was definitely the silhouette of an earthling.
As long as he has an alibi. We can't very well claim Director Cosmos was the killer.
No, we can't. Then again, maybe we don't need to yet. I wonder if he was really covering for Mr. Starbuck. Your Honor, the defense moves to have the director testify about the person he saw.
Very well. Director Cosmos, your testimony, please.
What I really witnessed.
Thank you. Witness testimony, what I really witnessed.
Oh boy. That's not gonna go down well in the books.
As I tried to enter the lounge, the true killer inside fired a gun at me. I hid to avoid getting shot. But when I tried to get another look, they had vanished into thin air. I was near the elevator side door, and, well, the launchpad 1 door. And the control room door shouldn't have been shut tight to the killer.
Oh, that seemed odd. So, you were shot at by the killer as well, and then they disappeared?
Yes, though luckily no harm came to my glorious body. Unfortunately, the bullet...
Alright.
Unfortunately, the bullet hit Terran's oxygen tank. I know because I heard a pang. That must have been the sound of the tank being ruptured.
Wait, but I thought the bullet hit his metal.
That was Detective Arm's bullet, remember?
Right. What a mess this is turning into. So, let's see. Director Cosmos is claiming that when he found Mr. Terran and his killer, the culprit shot a bullet at him.
Right. But it actually hit Mr. Terran's oxygen tank and ruptured it.
And then the killer disappeared and the director went into the boarding lounge. When Detective Arm caught up and fired those warning shots at him. Judging by his medal, it looks like one of them almost took him out, too.
Good summary, but that doesn't explain where our mystery killer went. Director Cosmos, I was wondering if you could elaborate on when the figure disappeared.
I'm ashamed to admit I tried to hide myself when I was shot at, but when I peeped back into the lounge, the real killer was gone. I rushed into the lounge straight away to investigate. But what I found was Terran with a knife in his chest, and Starbuck out cold on the floor.
So we have a culprit who vanished from a scene that had no escape route.
Vanished without a trace. It's truly like one of the great mysteries of the cosmos.
Maybe he was another ghost. Silence! A riddle of the ages indeed. But I'd rather know how a fibbing leech such as you can be lauded as great.
A great man is always misunderstood in his own time.
Oh my god.
But he must remain true to himself, even if those around him don't understand.
Wow, that might be the first true statement he said all day. But how do you suppose this person managed to vanish so suddenly?
Simple. Because it was a ghost. I mean, Space Boy. When he was spotted by the director and Aura, he quickly feigned unconsciousness. That would certainly take all of the mystery out of the idea of a vanishing culprit.
I want to raise an objection, but I don't have any counter-evidence. Director Cosmos, when you saw this person, did you also see Mr. Starbuck on the floor?
No, because it was as dark as a black hole in there. I didn't see Starbuck until the other person vanished, and I entered the room.
That wasn't exactly helpful.
I'm prepared to accept your surrender, right, Donar?
Can't find any holes in his testimony, but I can't give up.
Right. Why don't you let me help?
Huh?
While the director was giving his testimony, I detected a cacophony of discord.
Which means he's hiding his true feelings from us, huh? This might just help us find out what happened to our vanishing killer. That'd be great, Athena. Let's see what you can do with him.
You got it, boss. I wouldn't want to miss the chance to delve into a great mind. Yuri Cosmos, prepare to hand over the secrets of your heart to me.
Widget time! I did wonder when this would pop up. Beep boop beep! Okay, as I tried to enter the lounge... Whoa! The true killer inside fired a gun at me. To avoid getting shot. This little thing, I just saw through it.
Peeking out.
But when I tried to get another look, they had vanished into thin air. I was near the elevator side door, and well, the launch pad 1 door and the control room door should have been shut tight to the killer. Okay, yeah, I see that there was some discourse in one of the doors.
Talk about mixed feelings. He must be trying to account for a number of contradictions. Mr. Wright, maybe this time we shouldn't just look for contradictory emotions. We should also look for emotions that should be there, but aren't.
I guess it shouldn't be a surprise that his mind is a convoluted place too.
He must have felt very shaken and distressed at the time. Let's focus on the fluctuations in his emotions and see what we can uncover.
Okay. So...
I wouldn't immediately leap to that sadness response.
Yeah, no, now we've said that, yeah, I'm like, hold on.
Because I simply consider what's going on behind the door and what he is.
When I took another look, they had vanished into thin air. So, the thing that's weird about this point is I'm not going to press go on it, but this point here that I'm highlighting, he's not surprised.
He's not feeling anything. Yeah.
That's a bit weird. Surely if you turn around and they vanished, you'd be shocked.
Yeah.
That's very odd. And that's
You have to know at that point where they went.
Yeah. Yeah.
I think that's as good a thing to press on as any.
Yeah, I think it is. I think it's the only one that seems strong enough. Got it! Got it! You must have thought it was very strange that the killer vanished into thin air.
I did. That kind of thing just doesn't happen. usually.
And yet, at that time, you barely registered any shock at the occurrence.
What? Why are you... Oh!
I can only think of one reason as to why you weren't surprised by the killer's vanishing act. You must have had a good idea of where they went. Isn't that right?
What? No, of course not. That's preposterous. Only I can enter the control room. And the area beyond the launch pad door was filled with smoke, making it impassable. And as for the southern door, I was standing right there. So there was nowhere for the killer to run to.
Maybe. Or maybe not. You went into the room to check on Mr. Starbuck and Mr. Terran, yes? What if the culprit took that opportunity to silently slip out through the southern door?
I highly doubt it. As you recall, right after I entered the lounge, Detective Arm came rushing towards it herself, via the southern hallway. Anyone trying to escape through there would have been caught by her.
And yet, the director wasn't surprised the killer vanished. So you're absolutely sure there was no escape room for the culprit to use?
Ugh.
It's working, boss. One more punch and it'll be a knockout. There seems to be one more emotion that's at odds with this testimony. Go get him.
Okay. Back into the Matrix it is. Time to pinpoint our way to victory.
Now I know what I was saying.
Yeah? So...
There is a mild possibility that I have considered. That whether or not it's available or not is a good enough question to debate for ages. The only people allowed through the Launchpad 1 door are Terran, Starbuck, and Cosmos. People.
Yeah, shit. Yeah, you're so right. Let's read that a second. Prints were found on the scanner's screen after the incident. Plate recognition attempts are recorded by the security camera. Okay. Only the prints of Director Cosmos, Starbuck, and Terran are authorized. Security tape. Oh, what about that weird lock we talked about? Do you remember that? On the left-hand side? That turn that was turned to the right? Do you remember? I don't know if the cast remember that.
I don't think we ever got to see what the deal with it was specifically.
Or it's possible it's not really important. Who knows? I know, but I'm not saying anything.
You shush. Not allowed to speak. Full side.
Okay.
Apparently the game says you're actually not, to be honest. Oh, poor Coco. I'm trying to find the evidence. We still have to point out a particular emotion here. The door lock to the east can only be operated by the backup power lets it function even when the power goes out. Wait.
I don't believe the Launchpad door has that stipulation.
No, it doesn't. Okay.
We've got no way to prove that he can't get... He's the only person to get in and out of the control room.
The control room door should have been shut tight from the killer. hid to avoid getting shot. True killer fired a gun at me. I don't think it's any of these. I feel like it's something to do with the doors. I was near the elevator side door. And, well, the launchpad 1 door.
Why is he sad?
Yeah.
Well, he's feeling either sad or scared.
Within reason, it's because potentially billions of Yolas have just gone up in smoke, but that doesn't necessarily mean that's the case.
Well, if you don't look in deep into it, is that
Yeah.
a normal feeling to have about a launchpad door?
Specifically a door, no. Which
It
is
would
why
be-
I bring up the concept.
He says if he's trying to hide, he's near both doors. Why would he be sad about being around the launchpad 1 door? Probably because... Fuck. See, I would probably because you can't go there due to the smoke. I'm gonna have to go... I might have to go with Brant's theory on this. I'm not too sure myself.
You don't get penalized for being wrong in this
Yeah.
part, so
Got it! Oh, I think you got it. Good job. Correct me if I'm wrong, but you seem to be afraid of the launchpad door.
The great Yuri Cosmos? Afraid? And what basis do you have for that outlandish accusation?
Whether I have any basis or not, you seem quite distressed by it.
I'm most certainly not.
Director Cosmos! There's something about the launchpad door you're not telling us, isn't there?
Oh. Oh.
Wow, he's speechless. It looks like you hit him on the nail on the head, boss.
Ugh.
I'll just input those 2 pieces of data, and yes, just what I wanted to see.
Christ.
Presto, changeo, less discord. It looks like we're on the right track.
Thanks, Athena. Now, to make sense of what we've learned. Director Cosmos wasn't surprised that the culprit suddenly vanished from the lounge, which points to the possibility that he knew where the killer had escaped to. Furthermore, talking about the door to the launchpad made him feel uneasy. In other words, he's probably hiding something about the launchpad 1 door. When we put these 2 pieces together, only one solution to this puzzle comes to mind. Director Cosmos, did the real killer escape through here? I guess the real killer must have used this if he's scared to go through, right?
yeah, if that's what you're taking from what Phoenix said.
Take that! The culprit went through the launchpad door 1 to escape, didn't they?
Yes. I mean, no. Disaster to starboard. We're going to crash into an asteroid.
Master tactician, you are not.
But the area beyond the door was filled with smoke, wasn't it?
True. But this is still the only logical answer there is. If we just figure out what the director is hiding about the Launchpad 1 door, we should be able to iron out the logical inconsistencies.
But that door requires fingerprint recognition.
Ah, here we go.
Only Starbuck, Terran, and I have access. I don't see how the killer could have opened that security lock. Do you?
That's an easy one. The killer was right there in the boarding lounge, meaning there's a way he could have easily gotten past that security lock. Come to think of it, we did examine the prints on the fingerprint recognition device. I propose that the killer used this person's fingerprints to get past the security lock.
You remember what the last fingerprints were on there?
It was Starbucks, I'm pretty sure. Take that!
That's...
Mr. Starbuck was lying unconscious there in the boarding lounge, yet anyone could have easily gotten past the security lock by using Mr. Starbuck's prints. And actually, Mr. Starbuck's prints are exactly what we found on the device's screen.
Oh!
It looks like he does have something to do to hide about the Launchpad 1 door. And I'm betting it's got something to do with the culprit's escape route. But I don't have enough information to see the whole picture yet.
You know, something just occurred to me. Would you like to hear it?
Oh. Huh? Oh yes, by all means.
There's a security camera in boarding lounge 1.
Right, the one that recorded the victim and the defendant. What about it, Your Honor?
If the true culprit escaped into the Launchpad 1 corridor, then that might have been recorded in the security footage as well. Then the mystery would be solved. What do you think of my logic?
I hope you didn't strain your faculties too much for that, Your Boldness.
I beg your pardon?
Look, if we play the security footage beyond this point...
Oh my! The footage cuts off!
The camera was running on backup power, but apparently the power cables were damaged. Most likely by the after effects of the explosion. There is no footage after this, be it of criminals or space aliens.
And I thought it was such a good idea too.
Aww.
Just because your grandchild is watching from the gallery, it doesn't mean you should try and show it off too much, Grandpa Boldness.
Prosecutor Blackwell, how did you know about my grandchild?
I think his grandchild just learned a little bit about the harshness of the adult world.
Setting aside the issue of grandchildren, I'd like to have the witness continue. Director Cosmos, could you tell us more about when you entered the lounge?
Oh. If I must.
Oh, wait, did he not stop spinning after his last dialogue problems? That's actually hilarious. To avoid getting shot, after the killer vanished, I went to the lounge. There we go. This is you.
That's when Detective Arm appeared from the elevator side door. And then the detective shot at me. So you see, the killer could have only escaped to the launch pad, right?
What do you think about Director Cosmos' emotional responses, Athena?
Actually, my cat is really sick, you know?
What? Oh, I'm very sorry to hear that.
And on top of that, my dog just doesn't want to play with me.
Why are you telling me all this now?
Just humor me, okay? Now you heard me about my cat. And then about my dog. Which story made you feel sadder?
The story about your cat, of course. It's only natural.
Exactly, that would be the natural reaction. But there's nothing natural about the director's reactions. I think how each individual reaction changes across the whole testimony will be the key.
Sounds unnaturally complicated. Well, that somehow doesn't surprise me. Okay, let's have a look at these again. After the kill of Valage, I went to the lounge. But that's when Detective Arm appeared from the elevator side door.
Oh.
He's pissed. And sad. Okay. So you see, the killer could only have escaped through the launchpad door, right?
Alright, Tom, someone you barely know shoots at you. What do you feel?
Yeah. Surprised. And sad, I guess, because someone shot at me.
He's feeling big surprise when
Well,
she
but
comes in the
yeah,
door.
the strength of it.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then the detective shot at me. So he's surprised there,
Big surprise.
Big surprise.
and then it's a little bit less.
Less surprise.
Little surprise.
Yeah, which is odd, because it should be just as big as the previous one. Because
Yeah,
Well,
you should
the
be.
policewoman.
You'd be
Oh, she
shocked
shot
if you
at me,
got
that makes
shot,
sense.
Yeah.
yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Gotcha. Got it! Director Cosmos, why are you so surprised when Detective Arm found you, and again when she fired? Isn't that a bit unnatural?
Sadly, even great men such as myself have ordinary human feelings. Our bodies are bound by the forces of gravity and emotions. Even a great man such as myself experiences surprise on occasion.
Yeah. I'm sure you do. But my real point is not the fact that you were surprised, but rather what you were surprised by.
Pardon me?
Firstly, you were surprised when Detective Arm found you in the lounge. And then, just after that, you were of course again surprised when she shot at you. But considering what you were surprised about, a strange phenomenon occurs here. Director Cosmos, what is strange about your surprise reaction? What is strange about your surprise reaction is the fact that you were more surprised when Detective Arm came. Sure, you were surprised when Detective Arm shot at you, but the surprise you felt when she found you in the lounge was much greater.
Oh,
That fact that you were more surprised by being simply found than being shot at suggests to me that you were conflicted about whatever it was you were doing there. Ugh.
the enemy has acquired a new weapon. Commence operation. Hide under your desk. Oh!
Please tell me I finally sunk his battleship. Nope.
Boss, I'm getting less Discord now. That must mean he really is hiding something about that launchpad door.
And whatever it is he's hiding most likely has something to do with the killer's escape.
I wonder what it could be.
If he was doing something suspicious around that door, maybe we can spot some change between before he came to the door and after.
Detective Fulbright gave us a photo taken after the crime. Let's run a comparison.
It's the lock.
Let's see. This footage of the door before the Directos Cosmos arrived. And this is how the door looked after the director entered the lounge.
Hey, look at that. There is a change. Something's definitely different. Director Cosmos.
What is it? What have you two been up to over there?
Finding the answer to what you were doing when Detective Arm found you. That's what. And the answer clearly lies in this footage that I've thrown on the floor. All we have to do is compare it to the photo that was on the floor and that was taken during the investigation.
Don't be ridiculous. If you really do have an answer, you'd have pointed it out already.
He's asking for it. This is what changed directly after the incident.
Dun, 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 dun.
Take that! The answer is this knob.
Flirty.
Oh, that's...
Your Honor, please take a look at this footage.
Let's see.
Oh no, that's my knob, Your Honor. Take a look at the knob next to the launchpad door. As you can see, that is horizontal. Mine's perfectly straight, Your Honor.
Why are you purposefully trying to break our judge?
Have care or I'll cut it off.
Please put that away.
Oh,
Yes, it is, isn't it?
I'm rather proud of it, Your Honor. However, when we investigated the scene of the crime yesterday, the knob was vertical.
Sorry.
Come on, Your Honor.
This
you
is
can
how
do
Tom makes sure the stream goes on for longer.
Your
He breaks
grandchild
the
is
judge.
in the audience.
And what does that mean?
It means that I'm excited. No, it means that sometimes between before the director arrived and after, someone turned this knob.
Oh!
After the scene was discovered, you were the only one who could have turned the knob. Come on now, Director Cosmos. Let's hear what you have to say. What were you trying to do by turning that knob on the door?
Oh! Fine. I admit it. You're right. I did turn that knob. That knob is a safety lock, meant to keep the launch pad in place. I was afraid there would be more explosions. So I wanted to move the launch pad away.
You wanted to do what?
Hey, didn't Ponko tell us something about how...
About the launch? Yeah.
She said that once the launch pad's fully assembled, it's moved to the launch site.
Right.
But the safety lock in the boarding lounge has to be disengaged first.
I guess that clears up what the knob is for.
Oh, so if the killer escaped into the launch pad 1 corridor, maybe they were transported along with the launch pad to the launch site.
I don't think so. The launch pad 1 corridor was filled with smoke. I don't think they could have escaped through that corridor.
So then where did the killer escape to?
I guess there are still some things we have to uncover. Director Cosmos, I request that you tell us about the moving launch pad in more detail.
Fine, but listen carefully. for I'm about to give history-making testimony.
Sorry, do you go on the button then?
I had no choice but to disengage the safety lock. I feared there might be more explosions. So I had to cut the launch pad loose. Surely, the only escape the killer had was through launch pad 1.
Okay. Mission up there?
But that area was a sea of smoke. Confound it! Where on earth could they have gone?
The director seems driven into a corner now. I can tell he's having a hard time hiding his true feelings.
Just one final push then.
His attempts to conceal the truth shouldn't be all that hard to break through, though. If we keep it calmly, I'm sure we'll cross the finish line.
Right.
Ooh, I'm going to turn this knob.
He's so happy. He's so happy about twisting it.
Yeah, he loves the knob.
Let me touch that thing.
Ooh. You have been touched by the great director Cosmos. How do you feel?
Touching
Vertical?
knobs is my favorite pastime.
Do you feel vertical or
A
horizontal?
touching experience, truly.
Chat, it's a penis joke. Did you get it?
Yeah!
Yeah!
In case you didn't notice.
Chad, did you realize it's a very obvious joke?
So, I had to cut the launch pad loose. Surely the only escape the killer had was through launch pad 1. Would he be angry about that? Okay. I'm just kind of seeing... Right. I'm just kind of seeing why we've got anger there. Kind of surprised there's no sadness there. I understand this. Because it's like, oh, where the hell they gone? I'm pissed. Yeah, this makes sense.
Well, the happiness doesn't really make sense.
The happiness is really weird. Yeah.
Yeah.
I had no choice, but I'm happy.
Yeah, that's
Oh,
what I mean.
He just loves a knob.
Apart from that.
He's really happy about
He's
it.
happy
I
to
really
touch the
do
knob.
love a good knob.
I'm gonna stop your knob twisting business. Got it! I had no choice. Sorry. I had no choice but to disengage the safety knob. You make it sound like you were reluctant to do so. And yet, when you did it, you felt some joy. As if you were very pleased with yourself.
Oh, how do you do it? How do you know that I was pleased by it? And everything as if you were there.
Pretty impressive, isn't it? This is the power of analytical psychology.
So, care to explain why you felt joy when you disengaged the security lock? I'm so glad I didn't say knob again. When I think back on the facts we've discovered up to this point, I have to believe you were trying to fulfill some hidden agenda.
Oh, how do you know about that too?
Because I'm more or less a pro. I'm guessing.
But you have no proof that I had a hidden agenda. And even if I did, I would never, ever tell you. So there.
I know they say people regress as they grow older, but you, sir, take the cake.
And how could you doubt a man with such great intensity, intelligence, and integrity?
Silence! Silence! you, a man of integrity. Don't make me laugh.
Prosecutor Blackwell? What came over him all of a sudden?
You've spouted nothing but falsity since you stepped up to that stand. You're not the kind of man that will be glorified in the annals of history. Not for greatness, anyway. Unless you consider greatest barefaced liar an honor.
Liar!
His words bite harder than his blade.
You moved Launch Pad 1 after the explosions. My, how naive you are. You fail to realize how even the facts themselves have betrayed you.
You know, just a thought, but modern English can be your friend.
And here's a thought for you. Immediately following the bombing, Launchpad 1 was on the boarding lounge 1 side. The police confirmed this on scene.
What?
Liar!
So that means the director didn't move the launch pad?
Curse my judgment for calling history's greatest liar to the witness stand. Let us leave him to indulge in his lies and war games to his heart's content.
Liar!
Objection! But it doesn't make sense. You can't deny that someone turned that knob, and once the safety lock was released, I'm sure the pad must have went somewhere. If we chase down the truth of this issue, we might just find where the killer escaped to. Gah!
You're sure it must have went somewhere? We just might find out. Your arguments are nothing but conjecture, bluffing, and wishful thinking. Stop chasing your fantasies and see reality for what it really is. Or are you not man enough to, boy?
Gah!
Boy.
Talk about hitting below the belt.
Youngins these days. I don't understand it. But I'm sure Director Cosmos was to move the launch pad. The knob was definitely turned after he came to the lounge. But the launch pad is right where it's supposed to be. Wait a minute. Maybe I have it all backwards. What if the director turned the knob? Not to move the launch pad away, but to bring it back to where it was supposed to be.
What are you blathering about?
What if the launch pad was at the launch site before the incident? And then after the incident, Director Cosmos moved it back to its usual spot. All he had to do was turn the knob to call the launch pad back. And it would be right where the police found it. Gah! Oh, my hair!
You made him sigh like Mr. Starbuck.
Almost 12 seconds and 33 point something seconds. Was what I said really that off base?
It pains me to have to explain how wrong your own logic is to you. However, our great liar turned the knob only after he discovered the crime scene. Indeed, the pad existed beyond the lounge when our Astro Wonders made their escape. A fact he had been recorded for posterity on firmless film.
Oh, right.
So, to reiterate, stop chasing your fantasies and see reality for what it really is, boy.
Gah! Oh. Oh. Oh.
And focus. We know the launch pad must have been moved.
But our deductions and our actual facts of the case are a direct contradiction of each other.
Well, maybe the two astronauts never really boarded the rocket. This footage could be fake, taken with the body doubles after the incident or something. On second thought, that's too far-fetched, even for me.
Never actually boarded the rocket. Hey, wait a minute. Maybe just maybe.
Huh?
Prosecutor Blackwell, what if I told you that the two astronauts never set foot inside the launch pad area, but instead went to another place? And what if the director moved Launchpad 1 back? It was not from the launch site, but from another place. What would you say then?
Cut the existential bull, or I'll cut you.
Mr. Wright, you will explain yourself at once.
I know I'm right. It was all the other way around from the beginning. Very well, Your Honor. Let me explain. Director Cosmos' reason for moving Launchpad 1 was to switch it with another place. Because he wanted to switch it with some other place.
I'm sorry, but did you say switch it? But what could he possibly have switched the launch pad with?
Oh, you'd be surprised, Your Honor. All it takes is a little thinking outside the box, and the answer becomes clear as day. This is what was switched with Launchpad 1. Take that! Take that!
Launchpad 1 was switched with the Space Museum.
In the past, the Space Museum used to be Launchpad 2. It has all the same features as Launchpad 1, and can be moved to the launch site. Meaning the Space Museum and the Launchpad 1 and Launchpad 1 can also be switched with each other.
You can't mean.
The rocket the astronauts boarded was not the one in Launchpad 1. It was the one in the Space Museum!
What?
Balderdash!
And yet, the only explanation that accounts for every riddle and inconsistency, this is how the Space Center was just before the incident. You see it, Judge?
Yeah, sorry, I had to adjust my glasses here. I see Launchpad 1 and the Space Museum have already switched places.
That's right. And with the two switched like this, the astronauts entered the Space Museum from Boarding Lounge 1. This allowed the true killer to enter Launchpad 1 from Boarding Lounge 2, and set the bomb on the rocket.
Come to think of it, the door to Space Museum from the boarding lounge too.
Welcome. The Space Museum is open to the public every day of the year from 9 a.m. to 7 p.m.
Exactly. But I swear he sounded cuter. Anyone can pass through that door to the Space Museum. There is no fingerprint recognition on that door. In other words, with the two launch pads switched like that, someone other than Mr. Starbuck could have easily planted that bomb. After setting the bomb on the rocket, the culprit snuck into the boarding lounge 1, waited there concealed, in order to kill Mr. Terran when the two astronauts emerged from the Space Museum. Recall that Miss Blackwell, Mr. Starbuck, and the director all saw the suspicious figure, who, we can suppose, after killing Mr. Terran, made their escape into the Space Museum. After that, Director Cosmos switched the two launch pads back, without realizing the killer was inside the Space Museum. Like this. The killer then left the Space Museum and made a clean getaway!
Right, Dono. I see you know how to handle a sword and handle it well. Perhaps I should call you Swordmaster Bluff.
I'm a seasoned warrior who has cut down many a prosecutor.
Silence! Silence! But unless you can prove your theory, it's no better than a rusty blade.
That's right. You have no proof I switched to launch pads.
Somebody needs a better anger management counselor.
If the launch pad really were switched, there might be a record of it somewhere.
At this point, Launchpad 1 and the Space Museum were switched with each other.
So the corridor beyond or should be the one that belongs to the Space Museum. Let's see. This is an image of the Launchpad 1 corridor.
Right.
Do you see anything different when we compare it to the security footage?
Huh? A number on the floor. Well, what do you know? It looks like we have proof after all, Prosecutor Blackwell.
And if this is just another bluff...
Oh, don't worry. It's all right here. Right in this footage. Proof that beyond this door is the corridor to the Space Museum.
Very well then, answer this for me if you would. What in this footage proves that the corridor belongs to the Space Museum?
Take that! There is a 1 on the floor of Launchpad 1 corridor. But take a look at the floor in the corridor in the security footage. Do you see the number on the floor behind the astronauts? It doesn't look like a 1, does it? That's because what you see is actually part of a 2.
What?
Why is it a 2 and not a 1? That's because the corridor you see is the one to the Space Museum.
Oh!
And so that means the corridor in this footage was not filled with...
That's right, because the explosion didn't occur in the Space Museum. The explosion only occurred in Launchpad 1, the opposite side of the Space Museum. And now that we know that the 2 astronauts escaped from the Space Museum, the mystery from the previous trial of how they got down the ladder is cleared up. Mr. Terran, carrying Mr. Starbuck, simply took the elevator from the upper level down to the middle level.
Just incredible. The 2 launch pads were actually switched. But you'd think someone would have noticed in an event of this magnitude.
Everyone was down at the basement shelter when the launch pads were swapped back. There was no way anyone could have known what was happening on the surface. No update. Let's press it.
Okay.
No more lies, Director Cosmos. It's high time. You told us the truth.
My honor, my glory, everything is slipping away. Time to deploy my ultimate weapon, Galactic engine ignition. What? It's gone haywire. It won't stop. My stars, my glory.
Oh my gosh.
No, not that way.
That's great.
Bailiff, on your steed and after that witness.
What? The bailiff has a horse? What?
A segue as well.
Oh, sorry, that was my knob. Segways.
I see we managed to retrieve you before you came to any bodily harm.
Director Cosmos, do you admit you switched the launch pads?
I admit it's true. I switched Launchpad 1 for the Space Museum.
It is good to hear words I can believe for a change.
Before you do, Your Honor, two things. First, we don't know if Mr. Terran had prior knowledge of the switch. As for Mr. Starbuck, he was unaware of his surroundings thanks to his medication. Either way, Mr. Terran would have realized the instant he stepped into the Space Museum that it had been switched with Launchpad 1. So my first question is, if the Space Museum was perfectly fine, why did Mr. Terran feel the need to put on such a dramatic display? As for my second question, I'd like Director Cosmos to tell us why he switched the two launch pads to begin with.
Please, I can't. I exercise my right to remain silent. But I will say, my hands were tied. I was only doing what I could to keep my men from getting caught in that blast.
The director is terrified. He must have one heck of a reason for not wanting to explain why.
Probably not a good time to pry it out of him, huh?
Excuse me, but would you mind if I picked up my stars? Without my badge of rank, I'm nothing.
I don't see why not. Bailiff, help the director retrieve his stars.
All of them.
It appears the possibility of a culprit other than the defendant has presented itself. Mr. Starbuck, is there anything you wish to say?
I don't get it.
Don't get it? What don't you get?
Director, why did you do all that? From the very beginning, you never meant the launch to go ahead, did you? You tricked us!
Mr. Starbuck.
Starbuck, my boy, I'm sorry. I can't tell you the reason why. But I had to do it. To protect the Space Center. Director! Will I ever get the chance to go to space again? Yes. Yes, of course! I won't rest until that happens. I will get you into space again, my boy. And the dream is still alive.
Silence.
You're not going into space, Starbuck, but prison. I won't have it any other way.
Why are you so hung up on him?
Yes, I accept that the launch pads really were switched. And if there were a third person at the scene, I suppose they could have escaped. But I have yet to see proof of this third person's escape via the Space Museum.
Oh, that's a good point.
He's right. I don't have any proof.
Starbuck! You will spill everything you know!
What? Me? Oh!
Where did you get those bombs? Tell me now! If you don't, my blade shall feast on your blood.
Oh! If I'm going to die, I want to die in space!
I have to do something.
Solomon Starbuck! Prepare yourself!
I was muted. 1 sec.
Uh,
No, you know violence isn't the answer, Prosecutor Blackwell.
That annoyingly cheerful laugh. It can be none other than...
Champion of righteousness, Bobby Fulbright here. In justice we trust.
Detective Fulbright? Ugh.
Sorry to keep you waiting, Mr. Lawyer. I hope I'm not too late.
I don't believe we had an appointment.
I tried to hurry, but I ended up helping a little old lady across the street.
Uh,
And then I had to break up a cat fight. I tell you, justice sure is a full-time job.
was it a fight between cats or... why are you here again?
Because the defendant isn't the culprit, and I came to make sure that justice is served.
I don't have any idea what you're talking about.
Fulbright. I always thought you were a bit touched in the head. But have you finally succumbed?
Nope, but it looks like you've succumbed to this phantom of yours. Open your eyes and let the evidence of justice uncloud your judgment.
What evidence?
Come to think of it, did he say something about finding us some evidence?
Thank you two. I feel a lot better now that I've been able to get that off my chest. I'm going to work extra hard to find that perfect piece of evidence for you.
I didn't think he was serious, though.
So, what is it, Detective? Is it something that will prove Mr. Starbuck innocent?
It is indeed! Have a look at this!
The lighter.
What's this? A lighter?
That's right! A lighter thought to have been used by the culprit, no less. The Space Museum's cleaning robot picked it up. It has the victim Clay Terran's blood, along with his killer's fingerprints on it.
Oh. What? Whoa.
Order! Order! Detective Fulbright, can I assume that the fingerprints don't belong to the defendant?
You bet! Mr. Starbuck is totally innocent!
This is it? This is just what I needed! Lighter added to the court record. Lighter. The lighter can be found on the floor of the Space Museum. The true culprit's fingerprints are on it, in the victim's blood.
It has to be fake. Australia's on it.
Actually, Your Honor, this is the decisive evidence that supports the defense's earlier claim.
Explain yourself, Mr. Wright.
With pleasure, Your Honor. Recall where this lighter was found. Based on that, we can extrapolate that after the killer murdered Mr. Terran, they escaped with the lighter in hand into the Space Museum, where they dropped it. The switching of the two launch pads occurred, like so. Then finally, the killer led through boarding lounge 2 and made their escape. Meanwhile, Mr. Starbuck was found in boarding lounge 1 after the murder. In fact, that Director Cosmos has a fact that Director Cosmos has testified to, therefore, Mr. Starbuck could not have possibly been the one to drop the lighter there.
Silence! Silence! But the defendant had free reign of the area until Director Cosmos appeared. Could he not have dropped the lighter in the Space Museum during that span of time?
Objection! You'd like that to be true, wouldn't you? But Director Cosmos testified right after he saw the mysterious figure with the lighter. He went into the lounge and found the unconscious Mr. Starbuck. In other words, Mr. Starbuck wouldn't have had time to double back to the museum. No, Prosecutor Blackwell, this lighter could have only been dropped by the real killer.
It's got Australia on it!
More importantly, Mr. Starbuck's fingerprints are nowhere to be seen on this lighter with Australia on it. I think you can understand what this means, don't you? The piece of evidence unequivocally proves that Mr. Starbuck wasn't the culprit!
This does indeed appear to be decisive evidence that proves the defense's claims.
As for the remote switch that was found in Mr. Starbuck's pocket, we can assume it was planted by the killer on the unconscious Mr. Starbuck.
No. There must be some mistake.
Frankly, Prosecutor Blackwell, I've been worried about you. You've been chasing this phantom for 7 whole years. I understand your urgency because tomorrow...
Silence! Silence!
Oh.
Fulbright. You promised never to speak of that.
Huh? Tomorrow? What about tomorrow?
Given the body of evidence, I think it's safe to say the defendant is innocent. In light of the fact that it was impossible for him to have committed the crime. A few unanswered questions remain, so I look forward to seeing what you two uncover. But for now, this court finds the defendant, Solomon Starbuck, not
guilty.
guilty.
Yeah.
Yes, we did it, Mr. Wright.
Looks like we pulled it off. Somehow, huh? With some help from Detective Fulbright.
Mr. Wright, Miss Sykes, thank you. And please thank Apollo for me too. You all are the best.
Oh, I wish I could tell Apollo about Mr. Starbuck's verdict right now.
Yeah, me too. That's gonna have to wait.
Now that a verdict has been reached, I'd like to bring today's trial to a close. Court is adjourned.
Objection!
Objection!
It's too late to object, isn't it?
It simply isn't possible. Something's wrong.
Prosecutor Blackwell, are you dissatisfied with the verdict?
Fulbright! What were the results of the fingerprint analysis for the lighter?
Huh? The results? Well, I was in a hurry, you see. And then there was that cat fight. And,
Oh,
well, I kind of got carried away when I heard the prince word Mr. Starbucks, so...
You have yet to read it.
Prosecutor Blackwell, can you read out who the prince belonged to?
Upon thorough analysis, the fingerprints were found to belong to Athena Sykes. So says the report.
What?
What?
Huh?
Me?
Order, I say, order! Miss Sykes, tell me you have an explanation for this. We just finished proving that this lighter could only belong to the killer. So finding your prints on it can only lead us to one grave conclusion.
I don't know how they got there, but I know I'm not the culprit.
This can't be happening. We build up our argument piece by piece. I don't think any of our reasoning was faulty. So how could it have led to this? Lighter, updated in the court record. Evidence found by Detective Fulbright. It has Athena's prints on it, in the victim's blood.
What have I done? Please forgive me. I'm sorry.
Order! Order! Detective Fulbright, stop your crying!
What in the world is happening here? It's like the world's gone mad.
Order! Order! I will have order!
Oh boy.
Jeez.
My throat.
Confusion spiraled into utter chaos. After all we'd fought for, the truth had turned cruelty on us to accuse Athena of the crimes. Somewhere, Somehow, everything had gone terribly wrong. We had stumbled over the edge of reason and into the jaws of a twisted darkness. To be continued.